Hey, nice to have you with us once again. We have spoken to so many financial planners on this show in various forms and for various reasons. And every time we have a financial planner on this show and on any show on CNBC, you can be sure that they are registered and are members of the FPI, the Financial Planners Institute. We do that for a very good reason, and we'll get into that in a moment, because joining me in the studio today is Godfrey Nti, who is CEO of that Financial Planning Institute. Godfrey, thank you for your time. Nice to have you with us in the studio.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
A financial planner. We'll go into, for people who don't know, we'll go into what a planner is and what the role of a financial planner in your life is. We've done it before, but we need to reiterate it usually when we do a show on financial planning. Financial planners who join the Institute, firstly, what do they have to do to become a member of the Financial Planning Institute?
Thank you very much. I think it takes an average of, depending on where you're starting from, it takes an average of 2 years if you have a B degree, all the way to 6-7 years if you're starting, say, from post-matric to be able to become a financial planner. There are a couple of steps a couple of hoops you need to go through. The first, you need to be able to have at least a postgraduate diploma in financial planning from one of the recognized universities that we have in South Africa. You must also pass a very rigorous board exam that the FPI sets. You must also, we also make sure that you have the experience to be able to practice on day one as a financial planner, because you must remember that this is not a qualification. The CFP designation is professional, and it says you're professional on day one. It doesn't say you're a professional or you had some experience back in 2000. You have an experience today in the same way that a doctor on day one is able to practice. But most importantly, we also make sure that financial planners are full of integrity. We check their background, criminal background, financial background, to make sure that if you're going to be advising on people's finances, you want to make sure that you are at least sound financially and also criminally.
Okay, so you're saying that I can't come out of university with a Bachelor of Commerce and say I'm a financial planner. Or you can say that, but if I'm looking as a client, looking for a financial planner, I should be looking for somebody who is a member of the Financial Planning Institute, because with that, it brings a whole load of other things onto the table to my benefit.
Definitely. Now, I'll give a very simple analogy.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody who became a doctor in say 2005, 2007, you pick a date. And since 2005, they haven't practiced as a doctor. Surely you don't want that person dispensing medicine right now. Surely you don't want that person to give you advice on what is wrong with you, because they just have been out of the game. And that's why it is important that if you work with somebody who is a member of the Financial Planning Institute, somebody who is a professional, who continue to be a professional as opposed to a qualification they had, say, a decade ago, it tells you that this person is up to task, is up to where the profession is at, because professions evolve. Just like medicine, accounting profession, financial planning evolves every single day, and the professional, somebody who is part of FPR, the consumer can be rest assured that this individual is staying current with the professional, like that whatever advice they give to them is sound advice and puts the consumer's interest first.
I'll read you something here that one of your members said at the launch last year, your new strategy going forward. And I want to come back later in the show and reflect on that new strategy and see how it has implemented. And they were saying that of paramount importance to the IFP is maintaining the highest levels of professionalism amongst our member base, and went on to say that the members of the Institute have to start engaging that the consumer is becoming more and more informed, which is quite correct and is the right thing.
It's the right thing.
And that members of the FPI have to be ahead of that game. They have to be ahead of the curve the whole time. Where do you guys come in here from an institute point of view? Do you offer any further training, or is this done in focus groups? How do these guys and ladies get together and learn from each other to make sure that they are ahead of that curve?
Now, us being a professional body is something we take very seriously. By the way, we are a public benefit organization, and like that, we put the public's interest first. Okay. So before we say somebody is a member of the FPR, we need to satisfy ourselves that this person has come through a very rigorous, internationally benchmarked process that gives us a sense of assurance that if you put them in front of the consumer, they can make a difference. And it's not, and you rightly pointed out, because of the good work that the media does, because of the good work that, or because of the scandals that is taking place, because of search engine, where people can go to Google and pretty much educate themselves. Anything. It is very important for us that to be able to make a difference to your client's life, the knowledge gap between the financial planner, between the professional and the consumer should be wide. I go to my doctor. I know the doctor knows significantly more than me. So when the doctor tells me what's wrong with me, I default to the doctor's judgment because I know he knows what he's talking. Because I know that when it comes to what ails my own body, he knows more than me. So I default to his judgment. It is very important that financial planners keep this very healthy gap. We need to know way more, and that's why we always, for one of the things we do is advocate for higher standards and professionalism in the industry. We engage with National Treasury, we engage with the Financial Services Board, telling them we actually think that the standards for advisors in the industry should be way higher than they currently are. They should be at the level that we hold our own members to, because we definitely believe that it is at that level that you can make a meaningful difference to a consumer's life. I don't want to go to my consumer and tell them what they can find on Google. Yeah, it doesn't make any difference. I'm not a professional. I need to be able to go to my client and be able to educate them on something which makes a significant difference to their lives. There's so much effort we put into making sure that not just what it takes to become a member of FPR, what it takes to become a professional. There's so much ongoing effort that we put in terms of where do we think the profession is going? How do we prepare our people for this growth in the changes in the profession? We organize all kinds of workshops, conferences, case studies we put out to our members, pull them together in different locations around South Africa and around the world, letting them know this is where the profession is going, and we definitely think you need to educate yourself on these things, because if you don't do this, you're pretty much lagging behind. You're pretty much making that gap, the knowledge gap between you and your client, to be too narrow, which then means the client doesn't need you. And that is something which we don't want.
Is there still a perception out there, are you getting it from an institute point of view, that a financial planner is almost a grudge buy? You sit down with your financial planner, and at the end of the meeting, he sends you a bill for the time that he has spent with you. Is it still a grudge buy, or are people buying into the fact, as I do, that when there's something wrong with my car, I don't try and fix it myself because I know nothing about it. I take it to a mechanic. If I'm not feeling well, I don't try and self-medicate because I know nothing about that. I go to my doctor. By the same token, as much as I educate myself about finance and all the rest of it, there is still the need for somebody who can hold my hand, because sometimes it gets a bit dark and scary in there, and you need somebody who can hold your hand. Unfortunately, my financial planner is a man, and I'm not quite happy with him holding my hand all the time. But anyway, that's my problem. Is it a grudge still?
No, for financial planning, it is not the grudge. I can understand why there's that perception, because there's so much going on in the industry, and people confuse, just product sales for financial planning. And like that, it becomes very difficult for a consumer. If you say financial services, people think of somebody phoning me and trying to sell something to me, which is very unfortunate. So one of the things that we do is to go out there to consumers and educate what financial planning is about, the benefit of financial planning to them. And once you do that, it is no longer a grudge purchase, because now they understand. They understand that this guy who showed up and tried to sell me something is not a financial planner. They understand that you can't just rush and buy products without the benefit of a concrete plan that should inform the products. So once you get financial planning understood by consumers, by clients, by the public, it is no longer a grudge purchase. It's a huge effort we're putting into making sure all South Africans, every single individual out there, gets to understand what financial planning is about. And by working with the financial planner, this is somebody who by default puts your interests first. This is somebody who has come through a very rigorous, first of all, they're very competent. First, because they've come through a very rigorous process. Secondly, we also make sure that when it comes to issues of integrity and professionalism, they're on the top of their game. This is somebody you want to be able to entrust. This is somebody you want to be able to work with. Somebody who can hold your hand and make sense of the complexities of the industry.
They should
the industry is very complex.
actually be a partner.
It is a partner, and very important, and you use the word hand-holding. It is a partner. You're looking for somebody who can hold your hand. From where we're coming from, it should rather be a lifetime commitment. It's somebody you feel comfortable with, somebody you feel you can bring them into your own living, in your living space, somebody you can entrust with very personal information, because if you don't put out personal information out there, if you don't open yourself up to good financial planning, there's a very good chance what you get would not be what you need. So we hope that if you engage with the financial planner, you should feel comfortable with the planner. You should be able to entrust that planner with every secret that you have. You should be able to sit down with the financial planner, explain what your aspirations are, what your goals are. Do I have a kid? When are they going to be at university? Do I need to plan for them? What kind of university do I want for them? What do I want for my retirement? What do I want for my own health, the health of my family? There are all these things that are very, very important. But unless you have somebody you can work with, somebody who is not trying to sell you something, who is not trying to just pass time with you so they can send you a bill, somebody who sits and says, you know what, I want to move you from point A to point B. I want to make a significant difference to the life of this family for generations to come. And it starts today. Let's start working on something. Let me hold your hand. Let's have regular discussions. Let's have regular meetings. So I can pretty much hold your hand from where you are to where you want to be. And that is what where financial planners play a very important role.
We're coming up to an ad break now, and I want to get into where your 2012 strategy, a year on, where you find yourselves right now. But before we get there, I know a question we get asked a lot is, how do I find a financial planner? Because I think I need one. How do people get hold of the Institute to find a financial planner?
You can get hold of the Institute on using our telephone number. You can also get hold of the Institute on our website. I can give